was terrible. They made up a fake statement by President Reagan. Reagan was a big supporter of tariffs when needed. And we need tariffs for national security, and they totally turned it around because they're getting hurt by tariffs and we're gaining by tariffs. They've used tariffs on us when we had different presidents very successfully, and they've taken a lot of money out of our country, and now we're taking it all back. And so they went out and they made a fake commercial. The Reagan Foundation went crazy when they saw it because it was, the opposite. It was the opposite of what Ronald Reagan liked tariffs, and when necessary, he would use tariffs. We're in very good shape with that. But they took a commercial saying the exact opposite, Canada. So I'm very disappointed in Canada. They lied. I mean, it was a fraud what they did. Really, I don't think there's much they can do. I just assume leave it the way it is. If you leave it the way it is, it's very good for us.
Will you meet with Prime Minister Carney during this round?
I don't have any intention of it, no.
Will you meet the President on this trip he's going to
I believe we're meeting, yeah. We met at the United Nations briefly, just before I went on, and there was no teleprompter. They didn't allow my teleprompter to work. How about that one? But I gave a good speech anyway. Have a good trip, everyone.
Are you open to reducing the tariffs on Brazil?
Yeah, under the right circumstances.
President Donald Trump says all trade talks with Canada are terminated. He made the announcement after Ontario released an ad that featured an audio from a speech of Republican Ronald Reagan criticizing tariffs. Trump called the ad fraudulent and said it twisted Reagan's views. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said earlier this week the ad from his province with anti-tariff messaging had caught Trump's attention.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs.
This is the original 1987 recording of Reagan's radio address, which was a defense of free but fair trade, in which he explained his decision to put duties on Japanese goods in a trade dispute. The Ontario ad appeared to show parts from this address where Reagan criticized tariffs on foreign goods while saying they caused job losses and trade wars. The Reagan Foundation said the ad used selective audio and video and that they are looking at legal action for Ontario's unauthorized use of the clip.
Remember, America's jobs and growth are at stake. Till next week, thanks for listening and God bless you.
Earlier this year, Trump hit Canadian steel, aluminum, and autos with tariffs. Canada fired back, and both sides had been trying to strike a deal until now. The Canadian government had made no immediate comment. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada won't allow unfair U.S. access to its markets if trade talks fall through. The U.S., Canada, and Mexico are set to review their 2020 free trade deal next year.
You see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have Prime Minister Mark Carney with us. As you know, just a few days ago, we won a very big election in Canada. And I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't say the vote. His party was losing by a lot, and he ended up winning. So I really want to congratulate him. It was probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics, maybe even greater than mine. But I want to just congratulate you. That was a great election. We were watching it with interest, and I think Canada chose a great talented person, a very good person, because we spoke before the election a few times. And it's an honor to have you at the White House and the Oval Office. Fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.